He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast via telephone. Mike, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Appreciate having you on. How's your team over at the Michigan Peddler been doing?
Well, we've had a pretty busy summer given everything we've gone through, and the summer's been great. Now we're into the fall, and, we'll slowly start ramping down as the weather turns.
So for those that aren't familiar, what is the Michigan Peddler? What service do you provide to the public?
Sure. So the Michigan Peddler is one of those, if you've ever visited downtown Detroit, party bikes that goes around the city of Detroit. You get on there with your friends or family. You pedal around. Usually we'll stop and take a picture in front of some place like the Spirit of Detroit, the Stevie Wonder mural, the train station out in Corktown, or Comerica Park and the Tigers, to kind of make a memory that you can take with you. And then a lot of people choose to do a pub crawl where they'll make one or two stops at various bars in the city. And all throughout that time, you're pedaling around on the streets of Detroit, seeing great architecture and enjoying the outside.
And does this run all throughout the year, or is this a seasonal service, Mike?
Well, for some reason, we're a lot more popular in July than we are in January, but we are a year-round business, so we do, bring people out on the bike. We do a lot of rides over the holiday season when families, traditionally get together in like Thanksgiving or Christmas season. And we'll take them out on the bike, and they'll have family get-togethers. They'll go around, they'll see the Christmas lights, the Christmas tree, and kind of make it into a winter outing. But obviously, we're much more popular in the summer and fall months.
Mike Gill with us. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast. Mike, as with every business and every service throughout the state of Michigan and even the United States, the COVID-19 pandemic certainly has taken a toll on those businesses in some capacity or another. How has your 2020 been compared to past seasons, with COVID-19 having such a great impact on the state of Michigan even throughout the summer months?
Sure. I mean, it's obviously been a challenging year for anybody that has a small business, and the Michigan Peddler was no exception to that. Our season starts up really right around St. Patrick's Day, and obviously that's right when Michigan really started to feel the effects of COVID-19. And so while March and then April and May are times when our business builds, we were, locked in our garage with our bikes not operating. And then in June, we were able to open up, and we slowly started seeing our business come back. The last couple months have been, very strong months for us, even in a normal year, as I think families as well as friends kind of were looking for a way to get together and do so in a safe way outdoors. So our business was, good in August and September and October. And, we made, obviously, changes to the way we operate based on COVID-19. So we reduced the number of people we allow on our bikes. We did simple things that most businesses have done, such as adding hand sanitizer. We've, started disinfecting our bikes in a different way than we did in past years. So, we took a lot of different precautions, and, the outdoors was probably the biggest thing that I think drew people to our bike, in that they were, able to experience a good time in open air.
Mike Gill joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us today on the program. So, Mike, is this a single set business, or how many bikes do you have in operation throughout the Metro Detroit area on a given day or throughout the year?
Sure. So we are totally focused on the city of Detroit. All of our operations are based in the city of Detroit. We operate out of Corktown, and we have 7 bikes total as part of our fleet. So on any given day, if we're booked solid, you could see up to 7 of our bikes trailing around the city of Detroit. 6 of them are regular-sized bikes, and then last year we added a special bike to our fleet that we call the Mini Peddler, and it only seats 6 versus our regular bikes on a regular year would seat 15. So the Mini Peddler is for those when you can't put together a group of 12 to 15 people, but you want to go out. This is a bike that it's good for couples to go out for an evening on the town, or a individual family to go out and experience Detroit. And it operates the same way as our big bikes do, but it's just for a smaller number.
Mike Gill with us. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us today on the Oakland County MegaCast. Civic Center TV, 89.3 Lakes FM, Birmingham Area Municipal Access, and on the Facebook page of West Bloomfield Park. So, Mike, I have to ask, because this is such an interesting business and an interesting concept. I've done some work in downtown for the company that I work for, Motown Digital. It's contracted in to run our operation here, and I've seen the Michigan Peddler come by as I'm driving out of the city or as I'm walking down the street from place to place downtown doing that work, and it always catches my eye, and it always makes me think, how did you come up with this idea? What brought you to start this business and this concept?
Well, we've been in business for 5 years now, and it was simply a friend of mine sent me an email with a picture of a bike like this that was operating in a different city and said, "Have you ever seen anything like this?" And he was just kind of curious after he saw it, and I replied no, and it kind of got the wheels turning. And so I sat on the idea for a few years, and then in 2016, really the end of 2015, started thinking this would be something that I think would have great appeal in the city of Detroit. At the time, Detroit was just starting its renaissance, seeing a lot of new restaurants, a lot of new bars, and seeing a lot of people that had not come down to see Detroit all of a sudden wanting to go down and experience what, the largest city in Michigan has to offer. So that was kind of the way that I came about to getting the idea to start it. And then we launched in the spring of 2016.
Mike Gill with us. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast. So Mike, I'm also curious. Do these rides revolve around alcohol and around bar stops, or is this something where mom and dad can come down to the city of Detroit with their kids and just take a ride around the city in this open bike form, and maybe mom and dad have a cocktail or two, and the kids enjoy the ride as well? Or is this specifically just for adults?
Yeah, it's exactly, the answer is yes and no. We've had experiences for all types and all ages. So literally we've had little kids on the bike with their family without any alcohol. We've had 96-year-olds on our bike as part of a family reunion, and we've had everything in between. So last couple weeks ago, we did a birthday party for a group of 13-year-olds. The week before, we had a situation where a family went out on the bike, and it was a birthday party for, I believe it was a 12-year-old daughter, and her father had just passed away back in February, and so it was a way of kind of trying to get back out and celebrate for the first time a good memory after, experiencing such a tough loss. We've done family reunions. We've done individual families. There's a lot of ways to do things that don't involve alcohol. We'll stop and get ice cream. We'll stop at places like Beacon Park or Campus Martius and let people walk around and see those places. So we've had kids on the bike. We've had birthday parties for kids. We've had families go out as a family outing. And then, as I spoke about earlier, the most common thing is friends or family getting together for an adult night out in which, beverages are involved, bar stops are involved, and, a good time is had by all in that way. But we customize all of our rides based on what you want to do during the 2 hours that you have the bike.
Really interesting experience, definitely, and a unique business idea. Mike Gill joining us. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. So, Mike, for those that this has piqued the interest, they see this graphic we have up with your picture down by the Spirit of Detroit in front of one of your bikes, and they think, wow, this is an interesting experience. Before it gets too cold, or even after it gets a little cold, I want to experience this in downtown Detroit. This sounds like a lot of fun. What is the typical experience like for people that do ride one of the Michigan Peddler bikes?
Well, as you look at our reviews on Google or Facebook or Yelp or TripAdvisor, we're highly, highly rated. We have about a 5.0 rating. So I think people experience a good time. We start our rides in Corktown. You'll often go through Corktown, and then people head into either Midtown or downtown, and they'll spend the majority of their time on the bike, but we always like to include time to make a stop for a restroom break, as well as picture breaks, and then if people want some kind of food or beverage, like an ice cream, a hot dog at Lafayette Coney, or beers or other drinks at a bar. Those are the things that usually incorporate the ride.
Mike Gill joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. He is the owner of the Michigan Peddler. We are broadcasting live on Comcast Channel 15 and on the AT&T Channel 99 Public Access Community Government and Education Channel Guide on both Civic Center TV and Birmingham Area Municipal Access. In addition, today we are joined by our Facebook partner, West Bloomfield Parks, facebook.com/WB Parks. Hey, if you have a question for Mike Gill, if you have a question for any other of our guests, or just want to say something to your community, go ahead and put a comment on their live video, facebook.com/WB Parks, facebook.com/WB Parks. So, Mike, as we're approaching the colder months of the year, yesterday was quite chilly and quite rainy, and it's definitely trending that way going forward. How does the experience change, or how does your business operations change when you are in the colder weather months? What is that experience like for you, for the business, and for those riding as well, as we're approaching those months of the year? But of course, your business is still very much in operation.
Correct. We run 12 months out of the year. We run in the snow. Our rules as far as the winter goes, if it's snowing and snow is accumulating, we don't want to be out on the roads if it's unsafe, either where we would be sliding around or someone could potentially slide into us. So we would cancel rides if that's occurring. But if we got 5 inches of snow yesterday and the roads are clear and have been cleaned off and are dry, we'll keep running and we'll operate those rides. So people see the city of Detroit in, a different way in the winter. Maybe those bar stops are a few minutes longer when they go inside to get warm. We recommend people, bringing foot warmers and glove warmers if the weather is going to be significantly chilly. But we kind of keep our playbook the same. We'll go around, we'll take pictures, we'll experience the holiday lights that are soon coming out. We are having a Halloween costume coming up in over Halloween week that we'll be giving away a $100 gift certificate to ride our bikes, as well as T-shirts and pint glasses to the group that comes out, most decked out in their holiday gear and has the best assortment of costumes on, that rides us on either Friday or Saturday, the 30th and 31st. So there's a lot of ways, we still use late October, November, and December as ways to experience the outdoors, fun on the bike, and having a good time.
Mike Gill joining us. He is the owner, my apologies, he is the owner of the Michigan Peddler, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. Mike, just a few more minutes with us today. For those that are interested and want to find more information, maybe even schedule a trip, where can they get more information? How can they best get in contact with the Michigan Peddler?
Sure. You can visit our website. Website is Michigan Peddler, and make sure you spell Peddler correct. It's Pedaler, like pedal a bike.com. You can check out our Facebook page, which if you search Michigan Peddler on Facebook, you'll find it, but it's MI Peddler. And operators are standing by right now to take your call, 313-744-3272.
Well, Mike, we appreciate having you on just another minute or so with you today. Is there any other information that would be important for our audience to know about the Michigan Peddler, or anything else, any other announcements you'd like to make about your business at this point in time?
No, I mean, I think you did a great job just covering all the information about, what it's like to spend time on the Michigan Peddler. We just think it's a great way, whether it's people are interested in having, drinks on the bike, because alcohol is allowed. You bring your own alcohol on the bike. That's one group of people that have a great time experiencing that, listening to music while they pedal through the city. But also for people like we talked about that aren't looking for that kind of experience, it's a fabulous way to kind of slowly pedal through the city and see all the construction and renovation projects, old-time architecture that's in, the city that we all know and love. And we also, on our bikes, we have electric assist, which simply means you don't need to be Lance Armstrong to move the bike. We can do that for you. So you pedal as much or as little as you want, and we'll get you from point A to point B. So it can be a physical outing with exercise if you want it to be, but it can also be really a relaxing tour, having a good time with friends and family without a whole lot of work, too, if that's the way you want it to be also.
Well, Mike, we appreciate having you on. Thank you for being with us today.
Great to be on your show. Thanks again for inviting me.